Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. In this lesson, we will look at sentences which have a verb, a subject, and an object. First, some basic rules. We can have certain sentences where there is a verb, so that's the action, a subject which will always be in rafa form. If there is an object, which is what is new to this particular lesson, then the object will be in nasab form. We can also have sentences where there is additional information about the verb or the action taking place, and we need to be able to distinguish between the object and information about the action. Another point related to verbs is that some verbs are transitive. This means that the verb only makes sense if it exerts its action on an object. So here we will have a verb, we will have a subject and an object. The subject will be doing the action and the action will be happening on the object. An intransitive verb will make sense even without an object. Some verbs may be used in both ways. So they can be used only with a subject or they can be used both with a subject and an object. Now, before we look at examples, I want you to pause here and learn these verbs. I have given the meanings in general form. So, dakhala is given as to enter, ghalaba to dominate. You will need to look at the form of the verb and come up with a specific translation. So, dakhala, for example, means he entered. If you see dakhalu, that would mean they, male, plural, entered, and so on. So, pause over here and learn this vocabulary. Okay, let's look at some examples. Here is a very simple sentence. Kataba muallimun kitaban. Kataba is the verb, so this is the action. Muallimun is in rafa form, so this is the subject. The teacher wrote. Kitaban, this is in nasab form, so this is the object. The sentence therefore becomes a teacher wrote a book. And the reason I say a teacher and not the teacher is we have muallimun over here. So this is a common noun, and here also kitaban is common noun. So a teacher wrote a book. Qara'at ar-rijalu al-Qur'ana fil masjidi. Now this is actually qara'at, but as we've discussed in earlier lessons, to connect with ar-rijalu, we put this kasra over here, this kasra or the zir. So qara'at is the verb. Ar-rijalu is in rafa form, so this is the subject. The men, so far this says the men read. Now clearly we need an object because what is it that they read? And the object is Al-Quran. So the men read the Quran fil masjidi. This is information about the verb or information about the action. So this is a sentence which includes the verb, the subject, the object, and information about the action. Next we have ar-rijalu qara'ul Qur'ana fil masjidi. This is the same sentence, but it is now a noun sentence because the noun comes first. When we have ar-rijalu at the start of the sentence, the verb needs to match the noun. Ar-rijalu is male plural. That's why the verb also needs to be in male plural. This is something we've studied earlier. Al-Qur'ana is the object. That's what is being read. And as before, fil masjidi is the information about the action. Some more translations. Dhahaba means went. An-nisa'u. So the women went. Ila suqi is information. So the women went to the market. And notice since the verb is coming first, the verb doesn't have to match the noun. And again, this is something we've discussed earlier. But in the second sentence, the noun is coming first. An-nisa'u, which is female plural. So here the verb needs to match the noun. The translation is the same. The women went to the market, and ila suki is information about the action. The verb went does not require an object. So that's why we don't have any object over here. Ila suki is not an object. It is information about the action. Qara'tunna al-Qur'ana al-yawm. Is a question. qara'tunna, did all of you ladies read al-Qur'ana, the Quran, al-yawm, today. The subject is embedded in this verb. We don't have an explicit subject. We don't know which particular ladies we are talking to just by looking at this question. Na'am, yes, qara'na, we read al-Qur'ana, the Quran, al-yawm. So notice here, Qur'ana is in nasab form. Here again, Qur'ana is in nasab form. So al-Qur'ana is the object. Now here are some examples from the Quran. فَسَجَدَ الْمَلَائِكَةُ. Fa is so, sajada is prostrated, al-malaikatu, the angels. So the translation is the angels prostrated. Angels is in rafa form, so this is a subject. Sajada is prostrated. The angels prostrated. Daraba is to hit or to present. Daraballahu mathalan. So Allah is the subject. Allah is the one who is presenting mathalan, which is an example. This is an object because it is in nasab form. Wajada is they found. So the two of them found. Fiha, in it. Jidaran, a wall. And notice here jidaran is nasab. So this is the object. The subject here is embedded in wajada. The two of them found. Fiha, in it, jidaran, a wall. Qatala is killed. Daawudu Jaluta. Daawudu is in rafa, so this is the subject. Jaluta is nasab, so this is the object. This means that Dawood killed Jalut. An important point in Arabic is that the placement does not determine the subject or object. It is the rafa versus nasab which tells us whether a particular noun is a subject or an object. So this statement could also have been written as Qatala Jaluta Daawudu. The meaning would have been the same. That is it for this lesson.